The other day I was reminded of an old Zen story. I'm sure many of you have heard it before, but let me just remind you of this story and see what we can learn from it. Two monks were walking back to their monastery. It was probably after a long day of meditation. They saw a woman stuck trying to cross a muddy river. The older monk carried her across the river, set her down at the other side, and then continued walking. Hours later, the younger monk finally burst out, "Why did you carry her? We're not supposed to touch women." The older monk just smiled calmly and said, "I left her at the riverbank. Why are you still carrying her?" So who's right and who's wrong here? This is a classic story that illustrates the difference between being attached to outcomes and having faith in the process. Or put it another way, it shows the difference between someone who is driven by ego and someone who is driven by compassion. You see, the younger monk was so caught up with rules and rituals that he could unsee the bigger picture. He was so focused on doing things right that he didn't do anything to help. In his mind, by helping this woman, the older monk broke the rules, and therefore he should be punished. But the older monk didn't see things that way. He saw a human being in need and he helped her without a second thought. He didn't think about whether she was a man or a woman. He just acted according to his compassion. In a way, you could say that the younger monk was actually more interested in punishing the older monk than in helping the woman. And this happens all the time in our lives. We hold on to our anger and resentment and hurt feelings, and we want to punish the people who did us wrong. But in reality, we're only hurting ourselves. The truth is that whatever we hold on to comes back to us threefold. When we give love and compassion, we get love, compassion, and happiness back. But when we hold on to anger and resentment and bitterness, we get more anger, more resentment, and more bitterness. So the question is, what do we want to create more of in our lives? What kind of energy do we want to put out there? When we let go of our anger and resentment, we free ourselves from the heavy burden we've been carrying. It's like a weight has been lifted, and we can move forward in our lives with lightness and ease. But when we hold on to our anger and resentment, we're the ones who suffer. We become like the younger monk, burdened and unhappy. So the next time we feel anger or resentment or bitterness rising within us, let's remember the story of the two monks and let go. Let go of the anger, let go of the resentment, let go of the need to punish others. And instead, let's focus on being compassionate, on being loving and kind. Let us try to see things from the perspective of the older monk and trust that everything will work out for the best. Because when we let go of our anger and resentment, we're not only freeing ourselves, but we're also creating a better world for everyone. That's why they say that when you hold on to anger, karma isn't punishing you, you're punishing yourself. Let go, and your path clears. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.